So the Niners lost the game today, but it's just one game. Is this a lost season? Is my question. I think it is because, as I just said, I don't think this team is a contender. They put all their eggs in the Jimmy Garoppolo basket. They said it's not worth developing Trey Lance this year and letting him learn on the job because the team is going to win a Super Bowl with Jimmy Garoppolo on the field. His veteran savvy, his experience is going to lead this. It'll be perfect for this roster that's loaded, and it is loaded. And he will propel them to the Super Bowl. Cut to Christmas Eve. They're 8-7. They're not going to the Super Bowl. They're going to go to the playoffs. They may win a playoff game or two. They're not going to win a Super Bowl because of their quarterback. They're an 8-7 mediocre. They're a really talented team with a mediocre player at the most important position, 8-7. And my question to you is, if you had known before the season that they would be 8-7 right now, would you want Jimmy Garoppolo to be starting all these games? I mean, really? You're telling me if Trey Lance hadn't been starting since week 1, the Niners wouldn't be 8-7? 8-7. The run game would be better. They'd have an actual play-action passing game. They could throw the ball down the field. I mean, he'd be erratic. He'd be inaccurate, but so is Jimmy. They wouldn't be 8-7. And really, who cares about 8-7? 8-7, 7-8. What's the difference? What'd be nice about starting Lance all year is, regardless of what your record would be with him this year, he'd be ready for next year. You know it. He'd have a year under his belt. You don't know that Lance will be ready next year. Once again, you have a roster that's Super Bowl ready. It should be in the hands of someone like Lance, not Jimmy, not a mediocre vet who is overpaid and the best he can do with Deebo Samuel, Nick Bosa, George Kittle, Brandon Ayuk, Trent Williams, Kyle Juszczyk is 8-7. Colt McCoy would be 8-7 with this team. Gardner Minshew would be 8-7 with this team, and he'd be way cheaper. A lot of quarterbacks would be 8-7 with Trent Williams, Deebo Samuel, George Kittle, Kyle Juszczyk, Brandon Ayuk, Nick Bosa, Fred Warner, Azeez Al-Shaair, Jimmy Ward, Jaquiski Tartt. A lot of freaking quarterbacks could be 8-7 with this team. And the only reason the Niners decided to forego a season of Trey Lance's development is because they thought they'd be like freaking 11-4 right now, 12-3. It's a lost season. It's why I was so annoying all year, why I kept whining about it. Why even when my dad was like, hey, would you shut up about Trey Lance? I was like, no, absolutely not. I'm sorry. This is the 800-pound gorilla in the room, and just because the Niners tell us not to look at it doesn't mean I have to not look at it. You brought the gorilla here. You traded away your entire future for the gorilla, put him here and said, don't look at it. This elephant in the room, don't look at this elephant in the room. I have to. The elephant in the room should have been starting all year. The elephant in the room could have been 8-7. And then next year you'd be like, man, no one wants to face the Niners. Niners are scary. Now you're like, what are the Niners? Next year is what this year should have been. 2022 will be what 2021 should have been. It's too bad because Nick Bosa is only going to get a year older and a year more expensive. Same with Kittle. Same with Trent Williams. Same with Eric Armstead. I do feel like I was right about this. And I am proud of myself that I banged this drum all year and didn't waver. Lost season. So tired of Jimmy Garbage throwing away our trophies. This season should have been special. So many better quarterback options for this season. McCorkle sounds real good right about now. So does freaking Colt McCoy. First stage of grief is denial. Jimmy Sands will come around. 49ers would be contenders if Lance takes over right now. He would scramble and won't miss juice wide open. 2 games, the most in playoffs. Jimmy will blow it. You know it. I know it. We all know it. Kyle knows it. Pride. We thought Trey would start by week 8. Laughed my ass off. So did my dad. We all thought latest would be the bye week. Joke's on us. It was a total team collapse from coaching to players led by someone's interceptions. Yeah, someone's. I love that. Jimmy doesn't ever blame himself. I know I'm surprised that people aren't harder on him. I mean, he's charming, but he never blames himself, and he's often at fault. I also starting a petition to 86 number 10 out of jersey rotation after Jimmy leaves. That number will forever live in infamy. It's Curtis, Kyle Williams, Jimmy Garoppolo. That's hilarious.